And there it is.
Whoa.
And all of a sudden we're living. They call it live. I just made that up. I don't even know if that's funny.
We're living live in your mother's basement.
Right. Well, technically, I wish we were in the basement. We're in my studio here in North Hollywood, California. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever it is that you're watching this program in the world. Welcome to another episode of Live from My Mother's Basement with someone I've been begging for, a year now to come down to the basement or to the studio to do the podcast. This is Paul. Now, I always say your last name wrong.
You know what?
I call it Costabile.
See, this is an Italian thing I'm getting really stubborn about. It's Costabile.
Costabile.
But growing up, no one said it that way. But now that I'm on stage and I want strangers to say it, I'm making them say it Italian.
Costabile.
Yeah, make my last name Italian again.
Say it right as
you know what I mean?
bangs the table and shakes the camera.
Come on.
Be careful. Costabile.
Yeah.
I was calling it Costabile. Is that what most people say?
That's what, growing up, it was that. And I learned Italian, actually. I lived there abroad.
Oh, no
Started
kidding.
speaking the language, and I was like, wait a second. Because if you say my last name in Italy, everyone says it back properly, you know?
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so here is where
the
it got...
Italians, baby. They know what's
right. They know, like, oh, Costabile,
Hey.
facciamo così. But here they go, Costabile, where a table for two. Now we're in the South for some reason. But yeah, so I'm trying to bring it back, man. I'm insecure about it, though, doing showbiz, like... Because when you get introduced, people get it wrong. So, like, Jamie Foxx is a stage name. You got so many great comedians who stage names. And then I see someone like you, and I go, I got to be authentic. I got to be my real name.
Wow.
I'm inspired by the Marino essence. Marino,
That's my stage name.
My
My real name is Jones.
Jones.
I changed it to Mike Marino.
Mike Jones, that's good. I like that.
Let's rewind. Let's take it from the day you were born and how you brought you all the way up to this big event that we're going to, I don't know if you guys are going to do this and see it on time, but we're going to be doing a big show together in New York City, so maybe we'll do a follow-up interview on how it went.
Totally.
So, born in Jersey, right?
Yeah, born and raised in Jersey,
Where? I'm a Jersey City guy.
I'm from Hillsdale, right by Paramus up north, not far from Jersey City. But my family's roots are actually near there. They're at Fort Lee, Dumont, Englewood Cliffs, all these kind of North Jersey City adjacent towns. But going back, the family from Italy came from Naples to the Bronx. And then that family went over to Waldwick, New Jersey. And then my other family was from Brooklyn. So Brooklyn and Bronx roots, which I always rep with New Yorkers, You got to feel like, oh, I got the New York roots, even though I didn't grow up there. But then I lived in New York for 10 years. So I'm like Jersey, I got both. I got both the flavors.
Well, they're great flavors because, I didn't really realize I had an accent until I moved to Los Angeles, California, and everybody's like, oh, man, you must be from New York. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm actually from 20 miles out, but I think we do sound the same. However, people in the outer boroughs, New York, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, they do sound different.
There's all twangs, right? Like
twang.
Where's your take on? Because Jersey Italians, we do
they
things.
They do have a twang.
We got twang. I don't want to say Italian twang in the right way in Italian. We got a little Jersey-ism. No, that's not Italian either. Jerseyissimo. Jerseyissimo. Here we go.
An ease.
But
I went to speech therapy when I was 17, and the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And I remember everybody was like, you got an accent, you got an Italian accent. And then the teacher said, no, he doesn't have an Italian accent. He has an ease from the state of New Jersey, actually northern Jersey, because it changes as you go down south. An Italian ease or accent sounds like his mom, toca like it is.
Yes.
There was always that thing at the end of the word, ah.
Come here, Mike. Let's have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, right?
A cup of coffee.
Which I don't sound like, never sounded like that at all. So when people were saying, you got that Italian accent, I'm like, no, it's really an ease from New Jersey.
What was the word you used the most with your buddies, like to get at your buddies growing up in Jersey? Like back in the day, like what's the one like kind of Italian? I'm trying to think like, did you say stunad or strones? Because stunad's not an Italian word, but it's like I think it's a Jersey thing.
Is it?
It's not a technical Italian term, I don't think. Stunad. I don't think it is.
I know a guy who's his handle on Instagram is Stunad.
Stunad. I mean, maybe it is. It's a slang. Strutz. What did you say to your buddies?
They said strutz, Stunad.
Tell me if I'm wrong, by the way,
guys. There was another word. There was another word. Wait a minute. It's going to come to me.
Cots?
No.
Strones.
It was a word for like you're a gavon.
A gavon. That's a good one. I like that one though.
Gavons.
Yes, gavon. I like that one now though. You can call me a gavon. I like that.
Yeah.
It's endearing, that one.
You're a real gavon.
You're a real
Thank
gavon.
you. It's not a good thing. You're an asshole.
You're a real piece of
you're
work,
an asshole.
You know that? Yeah.
You piece of shit.
That's what Strones is. Strones is asshole in Italian. Stronzo. That's what the...
We didn't say Strones. I think that's more Brooklyn.
Oh, maybe.
I did hear Strutz, but no.
What I love about our people...
Gavone was the biggest.
Gavone's a good... Gavone's got Gavones.
You got your balls on the line.
Gavone!
You're a Gavone.
Gavone!
They can make it even worse if you put fucking in front. You fucking Gavone.
Oh, man. I wouldn't mess with that guy.
I'll cut your fucking stomach.
He really sounds like he would. Yeah, Mom.
What are you doing? Come on, go shave.
That's what I love about you. You got tough guy sounds, but I do think you won't stab me, which is nice. You have both things.
No, I guess somebody else will do it.
Yeah, exactly. You know the right guys. Yeah.
There are so many people, of course, for many, many moons, the so-called people that came over on a boat were New York, New Jersey, and all the outer boroughs. Once they saw the Statue of Liberty, they spread out in those areas hugely.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny, though, how this small area in America, there's so many different traditions from Italians. Like, if you're in Jersey, we sound a certain way. Brooklyn, like, they all kind of webbed out and did their own thing in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Did you grow up with sauce or gravy?
Gravy.
I thought we could be friends, man.
Gotta go. Gotta go. We'll be
It's
right back
over.
after this commercial break.
I'm going to go get some sauce.
Yes, he's going to go get his sauce, ragu, in the jar.
I did a report on this. I did a report on this exact thing because I'm so stubborn about it. The sauce versus gravy. I did it for NBC. I did a whole thing. I talked to a bunch of Italians. It turns out it's home to home. So you guys came over. They went to Jersey. They started calling it gravy in your home. But it was really home to home. You could have a guy next to you calling it sauce.
Oh, yeah.
It just depends on the home and the parents.
I guess, because here's my theory. If my mother is from Italy, her brothers, her sisters, they're all from Italy, true to form, why were they calling it gravy? Now, I would say to my mother at the time when she was around, Mom, why do you call it gravy? Because there's people in this neighborhood that say we shouldn't be saying that. We should call it sauce. And my mother would go, well, there's marinara sauce, but she never said the word marinara. She said marina. A marina, a sauce. There's nothing in it. Gravy. I got a braciole.
Yeah.
I got the meatballs. I got the neck bone. I got the pepperoni. I got everything is in it. So the meat sauce was gravy.
But that's
because
also
it's thick.
It's a ragu, right? Isn't that a ragu usually? That's a ragu sauce.
I have had so many different people on the show who have the argument, and I think it's great that we actually have it. As far as I'm concerned, call it what you want.
Yeah.
Just make sure I'm at the table.
Yeah. Meat sauce is, whatever it is, I'll eat it if it's red.
I don't like marinara. I think it's a little weak. It's watery. I want meat in there.
You want meat, yeah.
Wherever I go, if I'm going to order macaroni, which I always said macaroni till I moved to California, then I realized I'm supposed to say pasta.
Oh, yeah.
And my mother said macaroni.
Of course, yeah. Well, in America, it's just macaroni and cheese. In LA, it's macaroni. It's going to be with the cheese. But I think your mom said gravy because they were. What I've heard from my studies on this is they wanted to sound American. Gravy is meat sauce in American. It's not an Italian word. That's where it came from. They said, let's be like Americans. Call it gravy.
There was one girl on my podcast. Her name escapes me, but she called it sauce, and she knew all about the regions. She knew all about dialects, and she could have sworn she said sauce in Italian was suga.
Sugo.
And that's the way she explained it. So, because here's another twist. My mom's oldest brother, my uncle, died in Italy at the age of 23 from the flu, which was curable, could have been curable like now, but it wasn't then. The wife never remarried, had 2 kids. They all live in Toronto, Canada. And for some reason or other, they do say sauce. However, they also speak Italian, and we don't. Because you go to Toronto, hang on to the tradition, speak Italian. You come to New Jersey, don't tell anybody where you're from.
Yeah, well, back then they wanted to assimilate, right? They wanted to blend in with everybody. Yeah, that's where your accent comes from. Your parents speaking Italian at the house, but not as much because you don't speak Italian.
I don't.
Right? But your parents probably did to each other. They probably talk smack on you.
They would,
in Italian.
That's the way they got away with saying stuff to the kids that we didn't understand. We didn't know what they were talking about. My mother would have a full-blown screening match on the phone in Italian. Hang up and go, you kids hungry?
Yeah, that's the best.
What happened?
It's the best. I that's the one thing about speaking as much as I do is I don't speak 100%, like an 85, 90, but when you can talk shit, it's really fun. You know, we could say like, look at this, like basically look at this Gavone, but nobody knows. That's the joy of another language, I think.
I think for some reason or other, we grew up with just the slang words because that's what they said most. So when a Sunday dinner would come around, and you got to understand too, this is before you actually were realizing the difference in the United States and where your family's from. You didn't question it. So on a Sunday, the box of I can't even say it in English.
Manigot?
We said manigots.
Manigot.
I never knew it was another word. I thought it was manigots. Well, we're having a manigot. But if you read the box, then you realize, wait a minute, Mom, that doesn't spell out manigot. I don't even think there's a G in there.
Yeah, that's what's fun about all those. They cut off a lot, like Napolitano. Are you from Naples, your family?
Bruzzese.
Oh, Bruzzese, similar, where they cut off the ending of all the words.
Yeah.
I love that. This is how they do it. Like all those words, when they came over, were just
Well, my mother used to say that her friends would say we spoke the bastard Italian. We're the mountain guineas, the mountains of Campobasso, the Bruzzese. That's why we all had blonde hair and blue eyes. But my mother and my grandmother didn't speak English at all. She kicked the kids. Hey.
Eat, manja.
But
Campobasso.
We never said, all the slang words. I didn't know they were slang until I came to California. So you, just like when you would say gabagool, she said gabagool from Italy. So I guess that was what it was.
Yeah.
Never said capricola. None of that.
Do you feel like a fraud if you order it that way in LA now? You go, can I have some capricola, please?
No, I wouldn't. I know where there's some unbelievable Italian delis, and they're all from Italy. So when you go in there and you ask, you're going to get it. Either that or just point because it's hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
There's some really great places. So many people say, in Los Angeles, there's no great Italian restaurants. There actually is.
There is.
You just got to know where you're going.
First thing I did when I got here is I found a deli within the first week. I go to Monte Carlo in Burbank.
Oh, sure.
I get my meat and
down
cheese.
the block from here.
It's right here. I found them right away. Smells like home. They got Sinatra going. They got a bunch of old men who aren't super friendly. It's just what I want. Just what I need.
They're hateful.
Don't smile.
What do you
in my
want?
face.
Pick the number.
Yeah, and they're slow as hell, which is also funny.
Isn't it?
Yeah, they go, oh, we're going to cut the prosciutto. They're just like,
Yeah. That's when you're going to eat good, too, especially when you get enough food to take home. If you go to an Italian restaurant, you don't get enough food to take home, the food's going to suck.
And it's a fake Italian restaurant.
It's fake. You got to get a huge amount of food. You take it home. He's talking about this place, Monte Carlo's, and it has a restaurant attached to it, Pinocchio's.
Yep.
Because Pinocchio was Italian, right? Pinocchio went around going, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. If anybody's getting that joke.
I think I'm on my way.
I'm on my way.
I'm a liar.
You're in a good Italian deli when there's sawdust on the floor. The guys behind the counter have an attitude. They don't make eye contact with you unless you say something that makes them go, oh, he's from the old neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then they'll look up. You take a number, and they don't even call a number. They don't give a shit. I got number 22. We're on 48, stupid.
Yeah. Wait.
But
get to you.
Here's one other thing that you'll know when you're in a good Italian deli. You're going to see Stella D'Oro cookies.
Of course. They got to have them. You know what I like, too? It's a move that I really respect at delis. That not everyone does this, but I implore you to look out for this, is if you get friendly with them, they got a little espresso machine in the back. It's not on the menu. I love when there's like the staff espresso machine. You go, let me get un cafe. Let me get a cafe. They go, yeah, we know you have a little, because it's like not what they serve. That's the best. You go in the back, have a little coffee with the guys. Is there anything better than that?
There's another place like Monte Carlo's here in California, in Los Angeles, and I met this guy. They're from the city of Foggia, Italy, if I'm saying it correctly. So they named their place Foggia Italian Market in Deli, and it's in Lakewood, California.
Oh, yeah, check it out.
It's by the Laugh Factory down in Long Beach, and sawdust is on the floor,
The best.
barrels, homemade wine in the back, and he has all the different classics that you can buy, and the wife and the kids are all from Foggia, right?
It.
Which he says I'm saying incorrectly. It's not Foggia, it's Foggia.
Foggia.
He was a fan of mine, this guy, and he came to the Laugh Factory in Long Beach. This is a bunch of years ago. I was not aware of his deli, and I was not aware of these people. He brought me a sandwich. He says, I'm a really big fan. I bought you a couple sandwiches. I was sitting in the comedian's booth in the back getting ready to go on stage. And at that time, he gave me a chicken cutlet sandwich with not oil and vinegar, but what's the vinegar that's Italian?
Balsamic.
A balsamic vinegar. Yeah. And on top was the healthy lettuce. Oh, shit. What's it called?
Kale.
No.
Romaine.
Kale. Italian
Kale's,
healthy lettuce.
I was going to say, it's L.A. You never know.
No.
California.
He had the good stuff.
Radicchio. No. It's arugula. Arugula. You put that on. I put it on pizza sometimes.
Okay, so the arugula was on the sandwich. I'm gonna make myself hungry.
Well,
now.
I'm getting hungry.
I don't know where the hell he got the bread, but the bread was just unbelievable. Where did he get this fucking bread? Nice Italian bread. It was you, and the sandwich was like this. So I'm eating the sandwich. The shit's rolling down my arm.
As it should.
The vinegar, the oil, the olive oil. Now, the guy don't know me. He just knows my act. But he knows to bring this particular sandwich. I never said that this is my favorite sandwich. They just get it. They get it.
They know what to serve you, yeah.
So I took it on stage.
Oh, nice.
I took the sandwich on stage, and in front of the audience, I go, listen to me. Get the fuck out of Subway, you idiots. This is where you get a sandwich.
It's the best.
You want to go to this guy's place? It's over here. And everybody started going to this guy's place.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because when you really are enjoying something that just rings your bell, that tastes that good, you don't have to fake it.
No.
They knew I was having a blast with this thing.
It's the best.
So we've been friends ever since. And if we were going to tape this show at a different time, it would have been all over this table.
Oh, yeah, I was
going
to say.
The cherry peppers, all the stuff that he makes, the olives. I love olives and artichoke hearts and.
I mean, I'm going to get sandwiches after this.
Are
no
we
matter
starving
what, we
now?
have to. We gotta eat. We gotta eat now.
Gotta eat.
What I was gonna say is, I'm surprised you had good bread because the one thing California doesn't do well is the bread like home. I got a great story about Sinatra's bread maker was in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Right.
And he just closed. Actually, this has just happened. This old oven has been in Hoboken for 100 years.
Oh no shit.
They just closed. It's so sad. I wish they could like stay open. But I got to interview this guy and go in there and he told me stories. And the best thing I heard was this guy used to ship fresh loaves to Palm Springs to the guys, to Dean.
No shit.
And Sammy and Frank. When Frank would literally fly, this is how you know where we stand on bread coast to coast. Frank Sinatra would fly this guy's bread from Hoboken because he couldn't replicate that kind of taste he grew up with. So this guy would ship them same day. I don't know what they flew it out. They would fly out to Palm Springs for their sandwiches and everything. Isn't that awesome? And I had that guy's bread, and I wish he was still cooking. I think he retired, or he's pretty old now, obviously. So
I would think Hoboken, the classic little town where Frank Sinatra's from. It's cool to know that so many incredible talents come out of the state of New Jersey. I've been saying that for a long time.
Can we start some controversy? Let's make people mad. I think there's more talented people that come out of Jersey than there was New York at this point in time.
Yeah.
If we have to compete, if we're making a competition for the internet, we win. We have everyone.
I think one of the reasons is people in New Jersey live really, really hard, and so do they in New York, of course. But living in New Jersey, pursuing your career in New York was a little easier because you lived in a better atmosphere than living in the city. And then there's better things to write about, more fun things to come up to write about. So if I'm not going to be able to do this off the top of my head, maybe you can. But I just got hired today to do another show in Asbury Park. Asbury Park is known for Bruce Springsteen, John Bon Jovi, Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. I just opened for them a week ago in New Jersey. The E Street Band. And then you got actors like Ray Liotta.
Pesci.
Joe Pesci, right?
Come on.
The Four Seasons.
Frankie Valli, that's it.
Queen Latifah's Newark, New Jersey. Also was
Danny DeVito from there too?
Danny DeVito's from Asbury. He went to Asbury High.
We got
that
everyone.
I know.
John Travolta.
We
got everyone. Come on.
You, me.
Come on, we got everyone.
Sinatra.
New York, you got De Niro. Okay. We love De Niro, but you just got De Niro.
Why can't I think of, I would say, one of the most famous singers? Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, of course.
Come on.
We got everyone. I bring this up because I've seen some Italian programs out there starting to talk trash about Jersey and what.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jersey, about who we have, or the Italians in Jersey versus New York, and I'm just here kind of setting it straight.
I know what you're talking about.
We got the people. We got the good people in Jersey, and it's a great place. And we love New York, but we got the better list. Look at this. Just look it up.
We would go into New York City. That's basically where you would pursue your career, but the entertainers with more power and bigger names did come out from New Jersey. Hoboken, Jersey City, Bayonne, North Bergen.
Yeah, you can go even further in music too. With jazz, the jazz boom back in the day, it was a New York sound, Harlem and stuff, but a lot of famous jazz artists at the time lived in Jersey and would go to the city. So we don't even get the credit. Like, think about how jazz changed music back in the day. It was developing in towns like Patterson and Newark. There was jazz over there. There's a jazz scene that New York gets the credit as like the jazz mecca at that time, but Jersey had it, man. Maybe that's what our destiny is, though. Is like we don't fully get the credit. New York gets the credit. We don't get the full credit, and maybe that makes us even cooler.
Well, they do have the Jersey Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They have Jersey Hall of Fame. They even had New Jersey Comedy Hall of Fame, and I'm actually in that one.
There you go. Boom. I was going to ask you if you were.
Number 3.
Nice.
The first one was Lou Costello.
Oh, of course.
Abbott and Costello.
That's right, Abbott
Lou
Costello,
Costello.
Patterson, New Jersey, too.
And then I think, was it Jerry Lewis?
Jerry Lewis from Jersey?
That I don't know. And then me.
Oh, look at that. Good
Yeah.
for you. Where is that?
Asbury Park.
Oh, okay. So when you're there, you got to go take a picture next to your name.
I actually did my first big comedy special in front of 1,700 people at the convention hall in Asbury Park during its condemnment, when it was condemned. Mm-hmm. And today, before you came over here, the convention hall just called me and said, hey, we see you doing a show on December 1st with another singer who's doing unbelievable shit out of New Jersey, Testa. What the hell is his first name? Eddie Testa. Eddie Testa and I are doing a show on December 1st at the American Hotel in Freehold, sold out in 3 days.
Nice. That's a good feeling.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And I'm really good friends with Vinny Lopez, who's the original drummer from the E Street Band, and it's nice to be friends with all these cats who are all from those areas. And when you talk to them about their history, it's pretty wild.
It's something we share. It's why I met you the first time. It's like, I know you. We have that common Jersey pride that I think you can't cut with a knife, man. It's so strong.
I got a tattoo on my leg that says the great state of New Jersey.
Really?
The hell, it was my bucket list.
I gotta get one. I gotta get a made in New Jersey
Did you see it?
tattoo or something.
I've never had any tattoos my whole life. I met this guy. He's a great tattoo artist. They call him Mr. Jones. I want to have him on the podcast. He's 35 years old now, and I told him if I ever come to Boston, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a tattoo. Let's create something cool. So I did it.
Oh, he's taking his pants off, everybody.
My little bucket list. No, I'm pulling the pants up.
Oh, okay. All right. Don't worry. Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Isn't that cool?
Wait, you got to show.
If I can't get the shot.
Have you showed it on the show before?
I don't think so.
Look at this. Can I move this? Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that. Wow.
Come on, you fucking cameraman.
That's really.
Ow, it hurts.
There we go. That's really sharp. Look at that. Beautiful. Clean. He's got a Jersey calf, everybody.
It's got the Parkway on it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Route 35, 95, Belmar, Scotch Plains, Jersey City, Asbury Park, all the places that we that are famous.
A couple gas station attendants doing their job. Now,
hey, New Jersey's still the only state where they pump the gas.
Isn't that amazing?
You get out of your car, you're gonna get punched.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I know, you live here too long. You go back there, you go to pump your gas. Like, wait a second, I'm just gonna hang out.
Excuse me. Get back in your car.
Yeah, this is my job. All right, Bucko.
And it's weird too because they close the gas stations at 10 o'clock at night because nobody wants to work after 10 o'clock. So if you need gas and you're in the state of New Jersey, you're screwed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or you gotta like wake somebody up. She says, "Hey, I'm here. Come on.
Could somebody bring me a gallon AAA?
I need. Yeah, give me your punch card. Get in there."
When did you come out to Los Angeles? When did you say, you know what, let me go pursue the dream?
It was a twofold decision with the family. It was the year 2 of the pandemic, and so we were actually living in Jersey. So I have a love-hate with the decision because I love Jersey life and I love being there. But it was, we were stuck in a house for a year. with my daughter, went through some stuff as a family, and we just decided, let's go back to LA, because I always came out for work, and my wife lived here 10 years, so she wanted to come back. So for me, it was almost temporary. I was like, let's just go out there. And in my mind, I justified it where it's like, well, I never really gave comedy a real shot like I am now. So I was not doing stand-up as regularly, but I started in New York. So in my mind, I was like, LA, I always wanted to try it, with stand-up specifically. And so that was part of the decision too. I was like, bring the family here and put my head down and work on comedy. And I will say, I really, starting in New York, I love the New York scene, but I am really falling in love with working at it in LA. I was just at a show this week. I had tons of shows, meeting comics, writing, seeing the greats. Everybody who's great at this is here. They pop in here, they work out here. So I just feel like as a student of this, I really love coming here. I also resent that there's thousands of us here. Like, It's like, it's so populated with people trying to do their thing that's different. You go to New York, like I'm a comedian, I'm a host or whatever, like you got a handful of people that might be around that. Here, everyone is, which is fine. It makes you work harder. But we came for family, and I also came for comedy. So I feel like it's been an interesting change. And then also as a host, as an interviewer, it's been fun to do that work out here, and I'm closer, when I interview movie stars, like they're all here. So it's like, not to name drop movie stars, no, but I get to see everybody here because they're here, Johnny Carson brought The Tonight Show out here because of that. That's why that happened.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I started stand-up here in Los Angeles. I grew up as an actor back east. It wasn't until I came to California that I started slinging jokes and trying to create a career that way. And now I'm very happy that I did, and I get to tour the world, and this is all I do, and I'm happy doing it. I'm happy having my podcast and all the friends that I get to work with. But what made you want to do stand-up? I mean, I see you're hosting, and he has mega stars on his show. I just want to say George Clooney was on his show. I don't know if I'm going to get George Clooney to come to my studio, but you never know. I've had some pretty big names come over here.
Oh, yeah.
And, this week I'm going to be working with Robert Davi. Now, I don't know when this is going to air, but as far as I'm concerned, this is an A-lister. And when he calls me, he's like, Marino, come on, let's kick it over vibratos. To me, it's Sinatra called me.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's that level. By the way, I'm coming to hang.
Great.
Did you invite? You invited me, right?
Yes.
He kind of acted like maybe I wasn't invited.
I don't know if you can come.
He said, you can't hang with him. You're a different level. This is LA stereotype.
No, my opinion is putting people together all the time. Pass the salt to somebody else, and hopefully they'll pass it back when they're done eating. I don't know why it's that big of a deal. There's a lot of people don't like to do that. They feel like they're in competition. I would like to say, hey, Davi, this is Paul. Paul, you should have him on your show. He had George Clooney. And Davi would be like, I'll do the show.
Yeah. I love that you're like that. It's a great quality in a person, is you're a good connector and you want to see everybody win. And I also think the scene here has been like that. When you meet good comedians.
Oh, yeah.
They're not competitive. Everybody just wants to get better. And there's enough room, in stand-up, there's enough room for everybody. It's our voices. It's our stories, right? Nobody can take that. It's us. It's our jokes. So I've learned to kind of embrace all that now too. And then the night we're doing in New York, which will probably be after this, that's exactly what that show is. It's a variety show celebrating, the family style that you are, that we are, Italians, jokes, singers, Sal the voice, crooning. It's everything we love about being Italian and being performers, I think. So same track.
But isn't it really cool that, there's a show that's going to be happening, whether we air this after or before, who knows, it doesn't really matter. The thing is, we're going to be doing one of many shows. And Paul put together a variety show. So you're not just getting stand-up comedians, you're going to get some music. Like you might have seen back in the day with the Rat Pack, a couple of comedians, a lot of singers, a band. But we have all these friends in common.
Yeah.
So when you hear each other's name of who's going to be on the show, it makes you go, oh my God, I work with that person all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a great idea. Oh my God, I'm going to call. And it just makes you feel great. I mean, there's always going to be one person you want to punch in the head, but that's family, isn't it?
Yeah.
You said it.
That's what's great about you too. I feel like I've mentioned your name to so many people, and it's always the same response. I love that guy. He's great, and it's. I appreciate you taking me under in this way, and introducing me to people. We're doing some shows in Jersey together as well.
Oh yes.
So I really appreciate where I'm at with this, just kind of getting my bearings for you to allow me to work with you is a dream, man, and to be on my show. By the way, you're the big act in the show. I didn't even tell you.
I thought Sal was.
Well, I know, but you're gonna close it out.
I'm closing?
I think so.
Really? It's hard to follow music.
Well, I'll explain the run of show to you, but I think you're gonna be the home run.
Okay.
You are.
Listen,
I'll put you wherever you want. All right. I just know he's gonna be a big act.
I want to go first. I got another place I gotta go.
Yeah. I was late today, so you know what? I would deserve that if you change the timing.
I'm late.
I'm late. No, we're gonna put you where you should be, but it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited.
Here's what's gonna happen to Paul. Like me, you're gonna get to stand in front of the orchestra. I don't know whether you sing or not. I don't sing, but I've gotten to stand in front of many bands as the opening act, which you're never really going to do if you're not a singer. So, Dina Martin, Robert Davi, Sal Valentinetti, Louis Prima in The Witness, countless others. And you host a show, or you walk out and you do a set. The band can't leave. They're sitting there. They play you on.
The best.
And Davi one night, I think he had like a 32-piece band, orchestra, violins, and they're all out there. And they play you on, ba, 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 da, ba, ba, and then you go out there and you got to crack jokes. So for a half hour, let's say, you're doing your thing and you're hoping the band's laughing because they got to sit there and watch. And if it's the third or fourth show, they're like, oh, here comes that joke again. So you have fun with the band, you can razz with them, have the drummer do something silly. And it's a party. And then you bring out the headliner, and what you're doing is you're making the room so hot and ready that as soon as this singer comes out, all he has to do is just go right into it, which makes him look at the comedian or the host like, wow, this son of a bitch just slung my ass. Thank you. Which means now you're going to constantly get hired to do it, and then it's going to travel. They'll recommend you to other people. Oh, I heard you did this, and I heard you did that, and then you make more money.
Yeah.
And you get to go be part of that type of show. So this particular show that he put together is going to be at the Cutting Room, which is a jazz and blues club by right anyway. I've been there many, many times. It is cool as shit, man. It's the New York old school, whacked out jazz supper club. The word supper club. You eat there, you watch the show. So, a comedian will come out, do a couple of jokes, then a singer come out and sing a couple songs, then somebody else, and it's a variety. You get all of that in one shot.
I'm really excited because the way you're describing the band intros is a dream I've always had as a performer. Even for the audience, when you have a big band wailing horns and they're just getting like the room, like they lift the room. Like when you walk into that, it's going to be a good night. So that's why I think the device of the band is going to be so special for the show, because we also have bits we're doing with them, with Sal, musical bits with people, surprises, it's guest singers. It's something I've always wanted to do. And to your point about our friends, I wanted to do this 10 years ago. I wasn't a working comic. I was just like, starting hosting. Now I have great friends to do this for me, so I'm grateful for the timing of this. Like it's been a dream, kind of a stepping stone dream, and I hope we do a ton more. I think we will. I think we're starting a little party. We're starting a party.
Sal Valentinetti, ladies and gentlemen, is a big name in the singing world. Does a lot of Sinatra tunes, does a lot of Dean Martin and stuff like this.
He's the best.
But he was on the America's Got Talent, and he just wowed America. And I did some shows with him back in the day, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember one show we did, he was right in the middle of a song, coming out at the end of the song, and I walked out on stage with my T-shirts, and I'm like, dude, you got to sell my shirts. He's looking at me like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, go with it. It's funny. Go with it. It's funny.
That's what the best is. Yeah, the in the moment stuff.
The camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's not an ego thing. It's just fun. So I had Sal on my podcast a long time ago. I've had Vanessa Racci, who now she's killing it. I just saw her at the Columbus Day Parade in New York.
Yeah.
And who else is going to be on the show?
Great people. Tara Canastracci is another great
she's
stand-up.
Another comedian.
And I just met her, and she knew everybody we know, you know. Nikki Paris is a mutual friend of ours.
Nikki.
Staten Island guy.
He's a cute little son of a bitch. I tell him all the time, I have to have him in my series.
Yeah, he's so funny. And he's been killing it too. Grateful that he's doing a bunch of shows for the festival as well. Mario Bosco's going to pop out and do a few things, and possibly wear a little costume. We'll see. I'm going to surprise him with some hijinks. And I have some surprises in store that are very Italian skewing as well. But I will it probably is already going to happen, but like there's a chance mozzarella balls are going to be flying through the cutting room.
Gotta have some food.
You're going to, it's going to be, it's kind of a mix of everything I've always wanted to do. So there's just like, I wanted to have this feel of in the moment characters. So like people will pop out in the crowd, and that element I think isn't really done anymore a lot. The variety kind of, what's happening? Oh, someone's in the crowd. Something's happening that, something's going wrong, or it's going to, like you said, it's just going to be fun. And that's actually what I'm most nervous about, if I'm being honest. Like, we know the stand-up. We know the music. It's these I want to do some bits with the crowd, with people. And as a producer of it, I'm just making sure all that goes well, like props and all that stuff.
Anything goes. I think what I found in my career is the mistakes. Exactly. With joy kills. Yeah. Because the audience kind of wonders, is it a mistake or are they just that well rehearsed?
Yeah. Well, I keep telling myself, no matter how those things go, if I just have fun with however. I mean, Johnny Carson was the master of that. If a joke bombed, his recovery was funnier than what the joke would have been. So that's how I want to think about those bits,
I used to do sketch comedy on a Tonight Show. I was on that show for at least 10 years. And they would write the joke, you rehearse in the afternoon, then when it went live at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, if the live bit in the audience, like I was always a plant, fell flat, it was up to us to pick it up. And you can almost pick up the joke with just cracking a smile as if to say, yeah, we know that sucked.
Yeah. Well,
and then everybody started cracking up like they know it didn't work.
Yeah, well, look, it's humility, right? If we're failing, and we can tell the audience we know we are, it's funny. You're like, yeah, this is bombing, but we're going to still make it good for you and good for us. And that's the vibe I want for this night. And all shows I do, I want to be playing and having fun. And honestly, doing stand-up, you're so good at this on stage. I just started feeling like I'm playing up there more. I'm having fun. I'm not.
Oh, you got to have fun.
When you sweat your material, you're like overthinking a tag you said wrong. The audience sees it. So lately, I do feel like I'm playing more, and that's what this is about. The audience wants to see us playing and having fun. All of us together on one bill. I mean, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be crazy. I'm so excited.
I can tell you one show I was doing with a big band. After like 2 or 3 nights, I said to the piano player, who's the arranger of the night, like he manages the songs in the band. He's got the charts. I really don't know the whole music thing, but I said, hey man, let's change up the show. Let's have some fun. When you guys bring me on, why don't you have the drummer do some rim shots and shit like that? And I don't work that way. I don't do setup joke. I don't even know how. I says, but maybe we can have some fun, see what happens. So he goes, all right, I'll tell him. But he didn't tell me. He told the drummer. So when I went out on stage and I was doing my thing, the drummer was doing these rim shots in all the wrong spots. So I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm like, good evening, boom, bang, crash. What the fuck just happened? Hang, boom, bang. So I look at the piano player and I'm like, dude, what the hell's with your boy? Yeah. And he goes, he don't speak English.
That's great. That's great.
And that was it. And I made fun of the guitar player, the cymbal player, the conga drum. And everybody was like, man, how many hours do you guys rehearse? I'm like, I never even met him.
Yeah. You're just up there doing your thing. Yeah. Having fun. Playing, having fun. Exactly.
Playing.
I want the drummer to do some rim shots for us. I have a feeling it'll go wrong too. So you're inspiring some of my jokes. I'm sure it'll go wrong.
Tell him, let me play. Oh, you play.
I'll play.
Let me show you how to do this.
I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna spike his drink and then take over.
Give him a couple bucks.
Right? Get out of here. Go get yourself something to eat. Guys, been on stage all night. Just go eat something.
See, we think the same.
Yeah, we know how to get what we want for people. Hey, go. You want something to eat? Go ahead.
You're hungry.
Some cash.
You look hungry.
Get out of here. Come on, it's my thing now. No, I'm very excited, man, and I'm pumped to do the shows in our home state too. I think being with the New Jersey's Bad Boy is an honor as a comedian. I think it's going to be really fun in New Jersey.
Some shows
because I met you here, so to be in New Jersey on stage with you is going to be actually really special that week as well. Pumped about that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. But you know what I really ultimately want to do? I want to do my web series again, Make America Italian Again, and since we're not in the pandemic anymore, and all the guys can get back together and do this. Race for the White House thing. I think it would be funny if you played like the illegitimate lawyer, and we take everything that you say in stride.
Right.
But it's like the worst advice, You know, wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, here's what you want to do. You want to go on the sidewalks and just speak your mind as loud as you want.
Yeah.
Don't try and you stop being secretive. Just be public with your voice. It's
Yeah.
okay. No one's listening.
Something like that.
You know, you guys will be good. There's no bug in the office. I swear, you're gonna be fine. Just talk it out.
Like, what you want to do is you want to donate like $5,000 to this daycare.
That's it. Yeah, go.
Yeah, no. It's because when my kid goes,
It might goes there, but that's not related. It's gonna help. I know a juror who's also kid goes there.
Yeah, well, my wife works there.
My wife
She hasn't gotten paid, but we
need. Yeah. That's funny. I like that character. That's funny.
You know,
here's what I need you to do. There's a pool service
Mike, you gotta
company.
trust me. You gotta trust me.
Trust me, all right?
You're causing too much of a rift with the other families.
Also, I won like one fluke case maybe in my history, my past. So like you guys retracted me, but it was like a fluke. Like I won it.
Got a guy out of a speeding ticket.
Exactly, some weird thing, or like a Seinfeld episode. Like yeah. I also was gonna say if you cast Joe Mantegna in this, I could play a young Joe Mantegna because my wife thinks I look like him a little.
Oh yeah.
I have the stash now, but I could be Joe Mantegna from back in the day if you want. Like
Did you ever have a chance to get Roddy Mardmo on the
No,
on
we
the show?
talked. We talked. I haven't got him on the show yet. And I saw they postponed that show actually a little, I think. But Joe Mantegna, I feel like I could resemble. Maybe he kind of has like a little bit of an eye thing. He kind of like talks like this a lot. I feel like I could do it. You know. Well, you listen here, man. You know.
He might come to the show that we're gonna do with Davi.
Oh, cool.
Davi brings a lot of celebrities. It's hilarious. I met John Voight there.
Oh,
and
wow.
I met the lead singer of Kiss. What's his name? Gene Simmons.
Oh yeah, he's a nice guy.
But just it's a lot of fun. But I think this is all going to work out. We're going to have a lot of fun, and everybody's going to love and laugh at the silliness, slapstick shit that we're going to be doing.
So
Tell
excited.
everybody about your podcast, because that is badass.
Thank you, man. It's a slow burn, as you know, doing these. It's called The Pop-Up with Paul and Friends. And that's another thing about moving out here. I said, if I'm going to be in LA, I'm going to build a studio. Because I've been interviewing my whole career for other people. So like you, I finally get to have my flagship show. And I'm very proud of the studio. We had you on. I've actually, today, similarly, I'm traveling. I got to bank some episodes. But as an interviewer by trade, it's so fun because now I think like a comedian. My whole career, if I'm with George Clooney, I obviously want to be funny, but I got to do the business. Tell me about the movie. What was this part? I'd rather be like, where's the joke and where's the fun? And my interviews have felt more deeper and funnier, I think, because they're longer. So it's like a new phase for me as an interviewer. But I say that, I still can't get the idea of, being an inquisitive kid out of my head. So when I talk to people, it's kind of very in the moment. Like my interviews are just like, hey, this is what's happening. Can I follow that? And what am I interested in? Like I try to be very authentic. But I like the space. The space has been like very special so far, the studio.
The studio that he's talking about, I went to, and it's like the old school garage feel, and like my Live from My Mother's Basement. There's a drum set there, makes you want to play.
Yeah.
There's knickknacks and bric-a-brac and all kinds of whacked out stuff, and you're like, man, look at this shit. It's just so fucking badass, and I enjoyed being there. When I went there, I didn't want to leave.
It was
I was
great.
just like, go get some pizzas. Let's just stay here. Put the TV on. Is the ball game on? And then I looked at a lot of your shows, and I was so blown away because, it was George Clooney and
Julia Roberts.
Roberts.
That was crazy.
And he's talking to them, and I'm like, wait a minute. I was just in his garage, and now he's got George Clooney?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, that's through my NBC work, which I'm very grateful to still have, where they have the connection to studios. So we promote it on TV, and we get to interview some people. But I've been really having fun with those lately, too, out here in LA, because since the pandemic, since doing stand-up, I'm less professional as an interviewer, but those moments have been really fun because I'm just sitting in whatever's there. It's almost like being on stage. Like if you got someone in the crowd, you're going to find the fun, right? That muscle's more in my head now. So those guys, they were hilarious. I couldn't even get them to shut up. They were just doing bits the whole time. We were just doing bits. I don't even know what the TV show aired. Like what you saw on my social media was the stuff I wanted to show. I'm not even sure what aired on TV because we just were hamming it up the whole time. So very grateful for those opportunities so far out here.
I like doing the interviews. I like conducting the interview. But what I do is I have a format. My producer, Tatiana, put together the format of how a show should go from top to bottom. Mm-hmm. But if I know I have an entertainer coming on the show, I just say, hey, listen, this is what we got to cover. Other than that, let's just go bullshit
Yeah.
about anything. I mean, if I had the food here this afternoon, we probably wouldn't have had half this conversation.
Yeah, right.
Would have been eating. Or if I have somebody who has like a message that they need to send out, I let them do that. So are we talking about a doctor, maybe
Sure.
a lawyer, or some other type of a thing? I had Bernie Parent on the show, the hockey player, and all I had to do was say, "So what got you into hockey?" And he took it from there.
Nice. By the way, I want you guys to know, because you just reminded me, when you were the funniest guest to show up at my studio house, because I have a house with a bunch of fellas who are all working professional music engineers, producers. There's studios all over this house. My garage is in the back with the podcast. And there's always a disconnect. If I'm in the garage working, guests come, I'm like, try to time it where I'm at the front door. I wasn't when you got there, and you just walked in. I just love, because I don't tell my buddies who's coming, right? So you walk in a full jumpsuit, looking like you're about to shake the place down. You're just like, I'm Mike Marino. And they're like, and my buddy's like, okay. And he's like, you're like, Paul?
Yeah.
Like
Which one of you guys just pulled me for the show?
But I literally got a text from my buddy or something like, there's a very Italian guy in the kitchen who seems like you better get out here, right? You might get your ass kicked. You better get out to the kitchen. I don't know, but I just remember that was like the funniest entrance. And you're like, what's up, man? Let's go. But it was, I appreciate you coming by. And I remember, the presence of Mike Marino in the podcast studio house. And that's how you are on stage too. You go on stage, I sometimes think you're going to beat up the mic. I never know.
A lot of the stuff that we do on stage as performers is persona and the truth. You want people to follow you and stay addicted to what you do, stay true to who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I really come from this. It's not a put on, and I enjoy being me. This is all I got. And that's why I think I'm so lucky that I have the amount of fans that I have, because they're like, yeah, I want to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy, he just lays it out.
Mm. You know what's fun for me about this show? I know we keep talking about the New York show, but I have so much, it's a local show, so many friends and family coming, and I'm very excited for them to see you. Like, I can't wait for, like, my dad to see your bit, like, the president bit, or what, if you do it that night. But, like, I've already sent your clips around my friends and family, so, like, it'll be fun for them to see. It's going to be a treat for them to see you live. I'm pumped about it.
A treat.
A treat. He's a real treat, folks. Look at that, hey?
Well, listen, let's do this, because we do got to get going. It's a really busy day here in Los Angeles, California. Paul, tell everybody where they can find you on social media, the internet, and
totally
watch your podcast, especially my episode.
Yeah, your episode's awesome. It's my name, which, if you remember the beginning of this episode, I'm going to spell it out phonetically, but it's at Paul Costabile. You spell it. No, I'm kidding. It's C-O-S-T. You know what's good about social media? You just put Paul Cost, and I pop up. You'll see A-B-I-L-E after that. That's me everywhere. I almost made it Costa because I was so insecure, but I'm keeping the name because my grandfather came over on a boat with nothing. So Paul Costabile everywhere. And the pop-up show with Paul and Friends is everywhere podcasts are too.
Let me spell it out. I wrote it down. Paul Costabile. I say Costabile.
Costabile's close. Costabile. This is the Italian Costabile. I'll never forget, I was getting a hotel in Italy once, and I called
There's no A at the end. It's an E.
It's an E. I was in Italy, and I was getting a hotel, and I just spelled my last name. Because I was like, I'm going to just see what happens. And they literally were like, oh, Costabile. Okay.
Yeah.
Sì, facciamo così, Costabile.
Does that sound nice? Makes you hungry, don't it?
Yeah, mangia la tuna.
Paulie. My brother's name is Paul.
Oh,
Paul
nice.
Costabile.
Yes.
Costabile. Paul Costabile. Costabile. One last thing. You say you make your own pizza dough?
I do.
The dough or the pizza?
Everything. From scratch. Everything. Except I don't make my own mozz yet. My own mutz, but I'm going to start. I wrote it down.
You're the first person in 300 episodes to write out that.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't do 300 yet. I'm going to celebrate 300 in a couple weeks.
I just know how to whore myself out for promotion.
And you got a nice purple jacket.
Purple jacket. I got a great story about it. Someone cursed me out in this jacket. I said, "You purple jacket wearing motherfucker." I swear to God, I was doing a prank video in L.A. The guy cursed me out. I was like, "You purple jacket piece of I was like, oh my God. Basically, the purple jacket Gavone. I make my own pizza dough because I live here. And it goes back to the bread statement I said earlier. You can't get bread out here like back home to me. So I started making my own dough. There's some good pizza out here, don't get me wrong, but it's not. Here's how I know my dough's getting good. One night, I put a bunch of balls together. I was done making pies. Put in my oven, a little lower heat, let it cook for a while. I cut into it, took a bite. It tasted like a bagel, tasted like a New Jersey bagel. And so I thought, I'm getting there. I'm getting that, chasing the flavor of my youth out here.
Did you catch your own slang, what you just did?
What'd I say?
Pie.
Oh, pies. Yeah, a couple pies.
You just confused half my audience.
What else is a pie? What are you talking about? Your audience knows pies, don't they?
No, I get people luckily watch from different parts of the country.
Good.
Pizza pie.
You got people eating pies and gravy over here. It's funny.
Explain it. Pizza, a slice of pizza. I hate the word personal pizza. It's not personal.
It's just a pizza.
Don't offend me.
Yeah.
I want a pie. It's a pizza pie.
Yeah, pie, always. It's been a pie my whole
That's
life.
very slang.
Yeah, I think it's New Jersey, New York, right? They would say pies. I don't know.
Because you come out to California, you want a pizza pie. They're gonna what pie? Cake? You want a cake?
Yeah. Pumpkin? No, we're out. We're out of pumpkin. Yeah, no. I make pies at my house. I make dough in the kitchen, and I'm gonna
start inviting some of you Gavone friends.
I want to do a night with a bunch of us, like comedian Italian people. I'll have you over, man. You'd love it. Brick oven.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get going. I want to thank everybody for watching the show, whenever you're watching it, wherever you're watching it, and what time you're watching it. This is live from my mother's basement with yours truly, comedian Mike Marino. I want to thank my guest today, Paul Costabile.
Thank you for having me, man. Great to be here.
And one more time, tell everybody where to follow you.
That's it, at Paul Costabile everywhere. And come see us do shows together. I'll be doing some shows with this guy. Great. And come see us. Yeah, you'll see us.
I want to thank my producer, Tatiana Blue Show, for always making sure we put a great podcast together, and she gets it out there to make everybody watch exclusively now on my YouTube channel, which is Mike Marino Live, here on YouTube. Let's make America Italian again, ladies and gentlemen. You know my motto. You don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, and you don't say nothing. And how do I end every one of my episodes? By saying the same thing with my guest. Don't take no shit from nobody. You ready? Don't take no shit from nobody. Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.